Everyone taking a break there in that Florida courtroom. Remember, we are still or only at the point of direct examination. We have not seen this cross-examination of Sheila Agee. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf to talk about what we've seen so far. Jeffrey, she is charged with first-degree murder, being the principal in a conspiracy to commit murder based on what her son did. And it's been an interesting dynamic to see this conversation with her son, because just as much as we saw her say, well, you should go kill her then. Here's the address. I'll be out front. She also says things that are very favorable towards the victim in this case, that she is someone that she has helped and that she believes needs to be around for her child.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw here is the defense putting their best foot forward, right, and a really emotional ending to that direct. So that was well framed by the defense attorney to leave it on that emotional note. And now the jury has the lunch to digest everything that the defense just did there. We can assume that the prosecution has text messages that the defense didn't present there. You know, it's the defense's job to put her in the best light there on direct. Hopefully they've diffused as much of the bad texts as possible on direct, but you got to think that the prosecution has something that they can come with on cross that's going to make her look worse, and that they're going to confront her in a way that will hopefully present her in a less favorable light with the charges that they've brought against her. But, you know, it's a situation where she has had an opportunity to explain why she spoke the way she did to her son and why she was kind of playing along with his plot to try and shake some sense into him. And I think they did a pretty good job on direct.
Yeah. Do you think it's a good decision at this point that she took the stand?
Absolutely, because when you look at those text messages in a vacuum, they look terrible. So they have to be explained. And the only person that can really do a good job of explaining what the motivation could possibly be behind those words is her.
Oh, very true. Let's actually listen back to her son taking the stand during this defense case. He's, of course, convicted of this crime. There's probably an opportunity for him to appeal, but he said this about his mother.
Any time in your life, has your mother ever said anything to you, motivated you, enticed you, wanted you, manipulated you to, or anything else to take Brooklyn Sims' life?
No, sir. I fully believe with 100% that my mother loved Brooklyn. I have my own mind, and once I have something set on my mind, I'm kind of stuck to it. So the only thing that the way that day played out was the only way that day could have played out. She could have not stopped me. No physical words, form, any type of way she could have prevented this. She did the best of her abilities. I feel that she did, as a mother, knowing me, tried to deter me and stop me.
Jeffrey, it's a big deal when you have a co-defendant come in and be able to say that, putting everything out there in a way that may not help them on appeal. But I'm remembering that in those text messages, Sheila Agee told him she wasn't calling the police. And in fact, she did not call the police, despite what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of this is looked at, in my opinion, in the prism that this is her son. Okay, so him coming in and falling on the sword, the jury is going to say, well, that's her son. What's he going to do? Come in and say this is mom's fault? But also, when you look at it from the other side, from the prosecution's case of how strong is it that she should have called the police? Well, this is her son, right? So the jury may have some sympathy for a mom there to try and do everything she can to try and talk him out of it, short of calling the police on her own son. Maybe there is a mom on that jury who is going to sit there and put themselves in her shoes, even though the judge is going to discourage them from doing that, to say, would I have called the police on my own son, or would I have tried everything else before I did that? And so this is a unique circumstance. This isn't two friends, and you want to say you can't be involved in this conspiracy. You have to stop and call the police. This is a mother and a son, and it cuts both ways. Of course, he's going to take responsibility and try and save mom, but are you going to call the police on your own son?
And I'm wondering, Jeffrey, if this is a case that's overcharged, if the jury is going to feel uncomfortable with basically treating her as if she pulled the trigger in terms of the charging. I mean, the defense is saying this is a mom who's exasperated with her son. He's angry. But they're also saying that she's trying to call his bluff, but at the same time that she never in a million years thought he would do it. But then why would you need to talk him down if you didn't think that he was going to do something?
It's a common problem in conspiracy cases when the person didn't actually pull the trigger, and a common problem in felony murder cases when the person didn't actually pull the trigger is convincing a jury that the law allows you to charge it this way, but it just doesn't seem fair. When somebody takes the action of walking into a Home Depot, walking up to their girlfriend, the mother of their child, and shooting them in aisle 52 of the Home Depot, and then you have mom who was aware that it may happen and didn't stop it and didn't really talk him into doing it, but didn't stop him from doing it. And suddenly, you know, she didn't help him get away. She didn't aid and abet in him doing the crime. She didn't give him the gun. And suddenly you're going to charge her with the murder too. That's really hard for a jury to shake the hands of their conscience on, that they're going to now convict her of the murder too. The law allows it, but it's really hard for a jury to understand.
We will see what this jury does with this case when we come back. We will take you back to Florida once they get back on the record. So that jury is on the break. Sheila Agee will be back on the stand. Cross-examination will start. You don't want to miss that. We are also standing by in Kentucky where Steve Lawson is set to be sentenced today for conspiring to murder mom of 5, Crystal Rogers, the missing mom murder trial in Tennessee. That hearing is expected to begin at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we'll take you there live when that happens. But we have more Court TV on the other side. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julia Jenae. Let's go back to Pensacola, Florida for the revenge mom murder trial for Sheila Agee. Prosecutors say that the 52-year-old mom encouraged her son to kill his ex-girlfriend, Brooklyn Sims, because he had contracted an STD and believed that she was the cause. He shot her at the Home Depot where both Sims and Sheila Agee, the defendant here, worked. Keith Agee was found guilty of that murder back in 2023, and he says that he did it because of that belief of the STD, but it turns out that wasn't true. Let's get you back into the courtroom now. We were expecting that cross-examination would start after this jury break, but the defense attorney says he has a few more questions on direct. Let's go back in and listen to this defendant on her own defense.
Ms. Agee.
Yes, sir.
You've watched the testimony here today and everything else. There was a video they showed. It was about a 30, whatever it was, minute-long video of you at the store walking back and forth, and then in particular up front, back and forth. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why were you walking back and forth up front?
I didn't think Keith was coming, but to be on the safe side, I had told him to come and see me. So just in case he did come, I wanted to be the first person. When I told him I would be the first person he'd seen, I was going to be the first. Person he contacted.
Okay.
That's why I was in front of the store.
And were you there for the time you thought he'd be arriving?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you walking back and forth waiting for him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is State's Exhibit number 48. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that your, I mean, take a look at that picture. What were you thinking when that picture was taken?
If that boy comes in, I'm going to beat his ass.
May I promise this? May I show this?
You may.
Just real quick, this is the picture on the phone. You'll get a copy, you'll be able to look at this back.
I stayed after the time that he said, and then I was like, he ain't coming. I never thought he was coming to begin with. But after I stayed there for a while, I said, he ain't coming, so.
Okay. During the course of this 2 hours on the 11th, the texting back and forth, you told him that, oh no, she doesn't know you're coming. Again, we know why. Hope we know why. Did you ever tell her that did she know that he was texting you and what he was saying?
Yes, she knew that he was texting me.
How?
I told her, I said, crazy text, and she knew who I was talking about. And whenever we got in the car, I just passed her the phone. She read the text, handed it back to me and said, your child's got issues. I said, you telling me.
Okay. Did she act like she was afraid or scared or concerned?
No, I don't. Brooklyn didn't think he was. She knows how Keith was.
Okay.
How he blustered and done that. He's done that to her before.
Okay. Okay. State's opening. We went through all this, and then at 1:59 p.m., the detectives discovered, well, in other words, did you erase your phone? The text.
Yes, I did. Whenever this incident happened, and Keith ran out of the store, and I got outside, you can check my call log, I tried to call Keith 3 times to tell him to stop and turn his stuff in. But there was no answer. It actually went to voicemail all 3 times. And then a few minutes later, I was going to text Keith to stop and turn his stuff in. And I was so mad because I had Keith saved in my phone as my baby. And when I looked down at that text and seen my baby, I said, no, you killed my baby. And on the iPhone, I don't know about now, but used to on the iPhone, you could swipe your text away. And when I said, no, you killed my baby, and I just got mad and just swiped it. I mean, it wasn't like I erased those message of texts. It's like I erased every text me and him has ever texted in our whole lives. I mean, at that time, I wasn't thinking I'd done anything wrong. I was just mad because of the situation that happened.
You just said it without me asking, but did you erase it because you thought you had done something wrong?
No, sir.
I have no further questions.
Ms. Jensen's going to have some questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Agee, you just said that you didn't think.
Okay, we're hitting the pause button here so we can slip in our break and you can hear a large portion of this cross-examination when we come back. Again, we're following this case out of Pensacola, Florida, the revenge mom murder trial. Sheila Agee on the stand. A woman's remains found scattered throughout a 3-mile area.
Now, a former naval officer stands trial accused of killing his wife.
The dismembered wife murder trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Vegas, stand up! Friday nights, the WNBA is on Ion. The Liberty face the Wings. Then, the Aces host the Storm. She was feeling it. Coverage starts Friday at 7. Find Ion wherever you watch. Ion, it's on.
Let's go back now to Florida for more testimony in the revenge mom murder trial. We are watching together for defendant Sheila Agee, charged with principal first-degree premeditated murder after prosecutors say that she encouraged her son, Keith Agee, to kill the mother of his child, Brooklyn Sims. We've been listening to defendant Sheila Agee on the stand under direct, but now the prosecution gets their chance to cross her. Let's go back into the courtroom.
Didn't think he would show, but if he did, you were there to beat his ass.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that boy did show up, and you didn't beat his ass, did you?
No, ma'am, I didn't see him.
Tell this jury, when you warned Brooklyn that she might be in harm's way.
When we were going to lunch, I passed her the phone, and I let her read the text.
What text?
The text that me and Keith had sent back and forth.
You and Keith have matching tattoos, don't you?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
And Keith in your phone is listed as my baby.
Yeah, I just said that, yes.
Right. And you said in the text messages that the jurors heard this morning that Keith will always be your baby, correct?
Yes, he's my child, yes.
And you also said in those text messages that you like Brooklyn, but you love Keith.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
She said she likes Brooklyn, but she loves Keith.
Yes, I told Keith that. He's mad.
My question was,
yes or no,
Yes,
ma'am?
yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, yes.
It's a yes or no
Yes,
question?
yes, yes.
Mr. Ackerman, please do not interrupt.
Yes,
and in those text messages, you said you would do anything for Keith because he is your child, correct?
I said anything that I could.
Anything that you could.
Right.
Like send an address, right?
No, not like that.
So Mr. Ackerman was talking to you about your different tactics depending on Keith's mood.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You said sometimes you have to agree with him, sometimes you have to disagree with him. Whatever works to calm him down.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So what was your tactic that you were using when you sent him the address to Home Depot?
Okay, my tactic then, and as a mother, I figured if I could, at the following text, I said, you will thank me when you're chilling with your daughter one day. I figured if I could get to him and I could touch him, I could stop him. That's what my tactic was, ma'am.
So your tactic was to bring him from Alabama to Pensacola so that you could touch him first?
My tactic was to bring him to me, yes, ma'am.
How did that work?
It did, ma'am.
What part of him saying that he was going to, or excuse me, let me back up. You mentioned during your testimony with Mr. Ackerman that you didn't take a lot of what Keith said seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
So what part of him saying that he was going to kill Brooklyn was not serious?
To me, all of it, because he has said this before. He said it on the 11th. But if you would go back to the text that me and Keith has had months and years and other times, I understand your job. Your job is to pick out what I done wrong. But you haven't picked out the last 3 years. It's like your job is a witch hunt.
Ma'am,
That wasn't
just
my
answer the
question. My job is to bring out the truth.
And that's what I'm giving you.
So what part of him saying that he was going to shoot Brooklyn?
I didn't
did
believe
you
any
not-
of it.
Ma'am,
I'm not
let
done.
Oh, sorry.
her.
What part of that did you not think was serious?
I didn't believe any of it.
What part of him asking where you guys were so that he could come kill Brooklyn was not serious?
I didn't think he was coming, ma'am.
What part of him counting down his travel from Alabama to Pensacola did you not think was serious?
I didn't think he was coming, ma'am.
Now, you keep talking about these other text messages. You deleted your text messages, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I said that.
You also mentioned that Brooklyn was the best mama and was such a good girl.
She was.
And you sent your son to her location where he killed her.
No, ma'am. I sent my son to me. I told him you can come shoot me.
But he came to the location you sent and he killed her.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Agee,
Yes, ma'am.
your son had no idea where you and Brooklyn were that day, did he?
No, ma'am.
Your family testified how you and Brooklyn were so close, you were like mother and daughter, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you mentioned that your son was seeing a couple other people, but you had no idea if Brooklyn was seeing anyone
I
else.
said I didn't think Brooklyn was seeing anybody else. Yes, ma'am.
But you're so close, like mother and daughter, and you don't know that.
Well, I mean, I had never heard Brooklyn say she was dating or sleeping around with anybody else. No, ma'am. I did not.
You said at some point you started changing your tactic because Brooklyn means nothing to him, so you started using Casey, correct? To try to calm him down.
No, I didn't say Brooklyn means nothing to him. I said I was using Casey because he was mad at Brooklyn. I was using Casey to try to calm him down.
Okay, so you're trying to calm him down.
Yes, ma'am.
So then you tell him he's stupid, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you tell him he's a dummy,
Yes, ma'am.
and you call him a bitch,
Yes, ma'am.
and you tell him he's got mental issues.
Yes, ma'am.
How does that tactic work?
It has worked in the...
I'm not done.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am.
How does that tactic work to calm him down?
It has worked in the past, ma'am.
By calling him names?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ackerman talked to you about that text message where you say, if you don't come kill her, you a MF bitch.
Yes, ma'am.
You remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said your testimony at that point was that you were sick of Keith, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why you sent that.
I was sick of the way he acted, and I was being condescending, ma'am.
Okay. Well, you said you were sick of Keith in your
Yes, ma'am.
testimony.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you were sick of Keith that day, Miss Agee, why didn't you shut your phone off?
Ma'am, if I had to do it all over again, I would shut my phone off. I'd throw it out the window. I
didn't ask you.
You asking me why?
Ma'am,
I didn't ask you.
well, Ms. Jensen's not had a chance to get her full question out, so I'm asking that Ms. Agee just wait. That way the court reporter can get it down as well.
I didn't ask you what you would have done if you had to do it all over again. I asked you on that day, August 11th, 2023, why didn't you shut your phone off?
I don't know, ma'am.
Why didn't you block him?
Hitting the pause button, let's bring in criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf. And Jeff, let me know what you think about how she's doing on cross. It's getting a bit fiery there.
Well, it's starting fiery is what it's doing. I was always taught about the law of escalating punishment. You wait until a witness gives you a reason to start acting snippy with them and yelling at them. And the reason you do that is because jurors don't like it when you beat up a witness who hasn't given you a reason to do so. And so I would suspect that this jury is not loving the tone of this prosecutor because it does not come off as fair when you cut off a witness, when you repeatedly interrupt them when they're trying to answer you. This is not a savvy witness who is trying to evade the answer to, or the question with her answers. This is somebody who is trying to answer her questions, and she just keeps cutting her off because she's not getting the answer she wants. And quite frankly, the defense attorney needs to do a better job with his objections of saying that she's badgering the witness, because that's what she's doing. She is badgering this witness. The judge is not protecting the witness in any way, shape, or form. It's a situation where she's trying to answer these questions. She's trying to give her what is a truthful answer to what are set up questions to get a specific response that she wants. And when she's not getting the response she wants, she's angry. And that's just not what you need to do on cross until the witness is giving you permission to do it by being obstructive. And that's just not what I'm saying.
It's interesting analysis, Jeffrey. We really appreciate it. Also interesting that the prosecution is honing in on just the address being provided and that one text about if you don't kill her, you are a blank, blank, blank. We are going to see the next time, Jeffrey. We have to get to our break. We have more of Agee on the stand. She is still testifying under cross. We're also going to keep you posted after that is done with this sentencing happening in Kentucky for Stephen Lawson in the Crystal Rogers murder case.